Le'Veon Bell in a second, but first check out these back-to-back blocks by Daniel Gafford.
Get that out of here.
Like a wall.
Get that out of here.
That first one was the best because he slapped it off the backboard. I'm glad he was able to follow it up. Reminded me of Corliss Williamson. Now, I can't remember the coach when they went to those national championships.
Nolan Richardson, since I can't remember.
Nolan Richardson. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
you're great at remembering names from the 90s. It's names from the 2010s that you struggle
You're on
with.
it.
Yeah.
Michigan State, Illinois, Aaron Johnson.
High school.
Look, we got another block. Miles Bridges.
Miles, Coach
No,
Izzo.
Miles got a shot block.
Coach Izzo just texted me. Coach, you got to work on the fundamentals. Miles got to be able to use his right hand. He's a lottery pick. Miles, go in. He's left-hand dominant, but go in with your right hand.
Coach Carter.
Another left-handed guy.
Finally, check out this dunk by Zion Williamson. Look at how high he gets up. That's some springs.
And that's actually not in slow motion. He's just hanging in the air like
Yeah, look at his head is
almost
almost.
believe it.
But look how high his waistline, his hips are. Look at that. I mean, he's got some dunk in his trunk
Look
too.
at the
To
kid.
get that up above those guys' head, man, that's some explosion.
Look at the little number 2 backing up to the baseline. Like he's starting to go up and he's slowly just backing away.
not number 2. Oh, the white
the
kid.
one,
He's
yeah.
out there. He's like, no.
272 pounds. That's how much Zion weighs. Lord bless him.
Oh, my
Like
goodness.
A feather jumping. Le'Veon Bell's contract issues continue despite wanting a long-term deal. Reports say the Steelers are expected to use the franchise tag on the running back. Bell played under the tag last season but skipped all of the preseason and training camp. Nick, are the Steelers making a mistake not signing Bell to a long-term deal?
I mean, I think it's mean, to be totally honest. I think you use a guy having 400 carries. You know how short the lifespan of a runner, the career span of a running back is. You know that this is a guy who has desperately wanted his big payday and earned it on the field. So I think just from like a human perspective, it's a crummy thing to do. But from a team perspective, I get it. Like, go ahead. Yeah, guess what, Le'Veon? You were really upset about the $12 million franchise last year. Well, you're about to get a $13.4 million franchise this year, and you're going to deal with it. Like, sorry. And guess what? After we give you another 400 touches, we'll see if anyone wants to pay you $13 million again anytime in your career. Coach mentioned the new CBA. The new CBA has been unfair more so to one position than any other one. It's running backs, because their best years are their first few years. They don't get paid much on their rookie contracts, and if they're awesome like L. Bell was, you can just franchise them a couple times. So I get it from the Steelers' perspective. I don't think it's nice, but they don't care about nice.
Right. I believe the running backs will eventually, their numbers will get back up there, and the reason why is because overall usage. If you look at L. Bell, if he's franchised, I know he's poor. He's $26 million over 2 years. All right. But with Todd Gurley in 2 years, his contract will be up. Year after that, Ezekiel Elliott's contract will be up. Then you will see, because of L. Bell and these other players and the overall productivity. The reason why the numbers went down for the franchise numbers because the running back was becoming obsolete. Like Kareem Hunt's a prime example. Like you can find guys that can rush the football, catch the ball, coming out of the backfield. And so it was discredited, devalued for a while. Now it's reemerging. I believe that Barkley at Penn State, he will benefit from L. Bell, from Todd Gurley, from their overall productivity. We'll see high draft picked running backs start to come back as being the norm. But this is price for doing business. Last year, when they decided to give Antonio Brown $18 million over the course, long term, when they decided to do that, they told me they weren't going to sign L. Bell. Now, I've been sitting over here, Sarah, you're new. But this owed to him. But maybe you'll listen to me because he wouldn't listen to me. He said that Pittsburgh, they put 400 carries on him. They know they're not going to pay him. They were trying to win as many games.
Yeah.
That still wasn't enough carries for them to be able to get themselves to a Super Bowl and try to win their 7th Lombardi trophy.
No,
So,
hold on. Maybe you weren't listening to me.
listen, they were not giving him the ball absent of thinking, this is going to hurt his contract negotiation. They are in the moment. They are trying to win. They know that the running back position, they know that Ben just said, I want to play 2 or 3 more years. You know what that means? A contract renegotiating. Your wide receivers making $18 million, which they value to be more important than the role that you play. So I'm not surprised. I thought that they would franchise him again I didn't think that they would give him the 4 or 5 year contract at $15 million a year that he wants.
I didn't think they would either. The point that I was making with the number of, it is easier to, how do you drive a rental car? Not the same way you drive your own car. Like you're harder on it. You might hop a few more curves. You might drive a little faster. When you are not tied to a player long term, when you do not have to worry about the length of his career or the health of him past this season, you're more apt to use him more than you have in the past.
So does this mandate come from the front office? Because I want to know. I've never heard of this. Does this mandate that, oh, hey guys, he's at 250 carries. Now, this week, I only need him to touch the ball 22 times because I don't want to get above his threshold. Do you think, who's telling Mike Tomlin this?
Hold on. You said you've never heard of this. You've never heard of teams being very cautious with their big long-term assets? We've never seen a team like the Indianapolis Colts with Andrew Luck this past year be extra cautious because he's such a long-term part of their future, as opposed to
Andrew Luck, what he went through, and trying to compare it to a running back, they're not comparable.
Okay,
all right, DeMarco Murray, when he played in Dallas, they said at the end that they were cutting his carries. But you know something? He ended up playing for another team. So what did it help him? Right. So if the team cut his carries, that would be to keep him into the future. They didn't do that. They wanted him fresher for the playoffs. As far as what your future is right now. You are in the moment. There are not people upstairs managing the carries because we're not going to give him a long-term contract. That's not happening with the Pittsburgh Steelers. There is one reason why they have the most Lombardi trophies. It's because they do things the right way. Their front office is not counting his carries. I just knew that a running back, they are not going to pay a guy $15 million over 5 years.
Does Bell have any leverage in this situation?
No. I mean, he'll do what he did. He'll do what he did last year again, which is sit out all of training camp, sit out all of the preseason, and then come in. He can make as much money this year as he's made in the entirety of his career combined. So, no. I mean, his only leverage, to be honest, was he could have threatened to set a playoff game because once the regular season ends, they could have given him a long-term deal, but no one's ever done that. So, no, he doesn't have leverage. He's just going to take it. Cece, listen, I'm a man of the people. I understand you.
It's not a matter of the people. It's a matter of giving people concrete stuff that the people can learn from it and be informed.
Right.
As they have these conversations.
I get that. I understand. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's fair to L. Bell, but no, he doesn't have no leverage.
Things aren't fair. That's all we can do. Coming up, can Dak Prescott bounce back from a disappointing season? That is next on
It ain't fair, Dak, to play like that as no rookie, then come back and they smack you around your second year.